Alright, today's tutorial gonna be very much interesting because we are going to build a Gen AI chatbot straight from the scratch. This is the architecture diagram. We'll be using Bedrock model, that is Anthropic Cloudy. Let's dive into the portal with the hands-on. So here we are. So let's first get back to Bedrock because we need to check whether first Anthropic Cloudy is available or not. Let's click on get started here. On the left hand corner, if we see, we have the model access. Let's click here, and here if we scroll down, we have here Anthropic, we have the Cloudy, access is granted. So it looks good for us. Now let me duplicate this tab, because if we look at the architecture diagram, next step is Amazon Lex. So we know that Amazon Lex helps us in conversational stuffs like text and even voices. So let's build our chatbot here. Now let's go back to Lex. We'll search Lex here as per the architecture diagram, Amazon Lex. Now here we have create chatbot or create bot. We will use generative AI. We can name our chatbot. Since our chatbot will be related to the hotel booking, so let me give it one name like hotel buddy or something, anything you can name it. Next is the description. Description is again optional. If you want, you can write it. I'll leave it as blank for now. Now regarding the AMP permissions, let's click on create role with basic Lex permissions, right? Now let's go down. Next is the COPA, it will be no for us, right? Next is the timeout, when you want the timeout. So for us it looks good, that is 5 minutes, right? We can put it in hours if you want to increase. If you want to change the time, we can also select here. Here we can see how long your session will be maintained when user do not provide any input. So just like in real world scenarios as well, there's a timeout even in our browser. Even when you're especially working on with banking sites, you might have seen in banking sites, if you're idle for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, the session will be timeout. Similar fashion, your chatbot will also work. So now let's click on next. Now here we have some interesting features, like we can select the languages which are available for us. English US looks good. Next is the voice interaction. If you want the text to speech, voice or bot needs to be interacted with our clients, we can use it. But for this tutorial, we don't need. There are tons of options and tons of voices, right, which we can use. So we'll select none for this. Now there is one important I'll say concept, that is the intent classification confidence score threshold. So what it is, right? So we need to understand. So let's say when a user say something to the chatbot, like I want to book a flight to New York, the chatbot needs to figure it out what the user wants to do. This is known as intent classification. Now for intent classification confidence score threshold, it is a number which we can decide how confident Lex needs to be before it decides on an intent. If we set the threshold to, let's say, 0.8, there is a minimum and maximum value if you look. So let's say I set it at to 0.8, that is 80%. So Lex will choose book flights instant based on its confidence score. Let's say 0.85 is above the threshold, right? So that's how it works. So now I hope you got the concept. Let's go down. We are at the important parameter, descriptive bot builder Gen AI. This is very important part, because here we describe how we want the chatbot to function. Failing to provide the correct use case or describing will either throw an error or our chatbot will not work as intended. So I have done my homework, what I want to my chatbot to do. So since this is a hotel related booking stuff, so if you look here, we want to assist the customers with hotel reservation. I want to make it clear what I want from the chatbot, right? So customers will be able to book rooms, right? And using especially room ID. If you look here, room bookings using room ID. So room ID will be the parameters. Then we can check the status as well, cancel reservations. So these all stuffs will be there. So now let's go back and paste. So this is important part as mentioned, and model part I mentioned here, right? We'll be using Anthropic Cloud. So I have selected the model Anthropic Cloud v2. Looks good. Let's now click on done. So above we can see generating bot locally for English US, that is the language. So it will take some time. Let's wait while it's ready. Alright, it says generating bot locally for US is succeeded. Now let's click on the review part. Let's check what is ready. So if we go down here, we have the generated intents, right? So we need to know what are intents, right? So intents are specific goals or purpose behind a user's message. Like intents represents what the user wants to achieve when interacting with the chatbot. For example, if the user types, I want to book a flight, the intent is to book a flight, right? So we have the room booking here. Let me open one of them for you. So if I open, it says, see the utterance are there, book a room, can I book a room, I want a room. It means the same. If you look, reserve a room, these are like saying the same thing in different words or like rephrasing it, but the meaning or the intent is the same. That's why they are known as intent, right? So I hope you got the concept for intent as well. Now since we are good, right? So we need to go move on to the next step after reviewing. Let's click on review, and once we are done with reviewing, then we need to confirm intents and slot types. So let's click here. So it's adding generated resources. Let me close it and wait for a while. We are good now. If you look, everything is ready, but it's not built. It's giving here the message in the blue, that is it's not built. So now we need to build it as per the instruction. Let's click on the build button. So if you look here, it's saying bot language US in bot hotel buddy. That was our name, right? Let's wait for a while, then we'll be doing the testing. All right, we have a good news. It says successfully built language US English US in bot hotel buddy. Now it's time to test our bot or chatbot whether it works. Let's click on the magic button, that is the test button. So here we have the console, just like we get if you have interacted previously with any kind of chatbot. So this is type, here is the voice, but for this we have remember we mentioned the text. Now let's type book room, because it is a hotel kind of chatbot. It should assist me with booking a room. So it says, can you provide room ID? Let me give it anything, one random value. So next it asked me for check-in date, when I want to check in into the hotel. So let me put one date, right, with here. So what is the checkout date? It says when I want to leave the hotel. It works perfectly fine. It looks good. Let me give one value for my checkout. It will be 2025. So it asked me for the number of guests. Let's say there are 2 guests. So intent booking is fulfilled. It means it's successful. So we are done with it. So in the file, similarly, I have created others chatbot as well. If this file will be available for diamond members and above, where you can check, right, and create many bots. So let's get back to the architecture diagram, because we are in the end or the conclusion part. So it is me as the user. I have created first explored whether Anthropic Cloud was available or not. It is available. We are using Bedrock model Anthropic Cloud. Lex, Amazon Lex uses it. So Lex helps us in conversational stuff like text and voices, and where we have built our chatbot especially with respect to the hotel room bookings in this tutorial. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let's meet in next Gen AI projects. It's gonna be more interesting.